Oh. Oh. What's up guys, Rich Duperbash. I'm out here with my brand new TRAXXAS XRT 8S. This is going to be run number 2. My first run, I ran it basically stock. I just had the Max 6 ESC. Definitely had a great time. I was super impressed with the handling overall. Only other big change I had is I'd installed the stock speed gearing, and unfortunately that exploded kind of towards the end of the run. I was running my Arma 8S backflips. Again, this sucker's widened with the M2C axles, but you'll see the stance is absolutely perfect with these backflips. Overall, guys, I definitely thought the stock motor had plenty of get up and go, just a little bit lacking in torque, but super responsive with the Max 6 and plenty of speed with the speed gearing. For today, guys, I'm running my Hobbywing 5687 1100 kV. This thing's geared pretty tall. That's a 32 tooth pinion, and I've got a 46 spur. Can't really recommend this size safely. I'm just going to see how this does. I know I was running, I think, 3250 on my X-Max. With these backflips, I had no problem. If you're going to run heavier wheels, I definitely watch your temps very closely. Really depends on your terrain and your driving style. If you're just going wide out with really big packs in your rig, there's a good chance you're going to overheat. This is one of the M2C X-Max motor mounts. This sucker was a perfect fit. I did just have to drill some more holes on my little Kydex ESC plate and kind of pinch that forward just so I'd have some clearance. You'll notice I ran longer bolts in the rear with these M4 nylon nuts. Not sure this is a great idea, but you'll see that little black piece. Essentially, that's a Kydex M-bell support I just fabbed for this sucker. Right now, Mitch and Avery are working on a new motor mount design that's going to have basically side bracketing to just kind of strengthen this. Bigger cans like this definitely put a ton of strain on the motor mount itself. The new mount should end up basically having bracing here, and down there you'll have like 2 cross brace arms. Basically just out here for a shakedown, guys. I'm just going to check my temps. If I have to gear down, I certainly will. Again, anything over 160, 170 is definitely getting pretty hot. I kind of aim for 150 just to get maximum efficiency out of my setups. Other than my stock main gear seizing up, unfortunately the motor locked up so quickly I ended up stripping my rear ring gear. The pinion did survive. As far as I know, my front diff's still okay. You'll notice I mounted up a custom printed Garage Life RC wing mount support. Definitely looks way beefier than stock. Again, I did break my stock on my first run despite putting battery straps on there to try and support it. The other breakage I had, guys, was my stock bell crank. You'll see there's really not a whole lot of meat, not a lot of plastic on there. Just like with the X-Max, my plan is to upgrade to a Hot Racing or a Vitavon as soon as they're available. For today, guys, I went ahead and put in M2C pistons all 4 corners. Again, I did bust my stock piston over on this side, and I just found last night I'd actually pulled one of these little set pins in the hub. Swapped it for a TRAXXAS HD. The fitment's pretty much the same as on the X-Max. Already running out of sunlight, guys. I'm going to keep this quick. I'm back here at the lake. Essentially, I want a wide open space just to test out the motor and see how my temps are doing. I don't blame guys for sticking with the stock setup if that suits your fancy. I just love the 5687. It's butter smooth with tons of torque. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Beautiful day for a ride.
Yes.
Well guys, I am starting to wonder if I did actually torch my front diff. I'm hearing a little bit of clicking. So far I'm digging the shocks, guys. Just try not to hit any boulders. Yeah, you can hear it right there, guys. The front diff is slipping too, unfortunately. So far this mount's definitely hanging tough, so shout out to Garage Life RC. Quick temp check, I was getting about 125, 130 on the ESC, which is perfect. Motor was getting in the 170s, which is a little bit toasty. Again, this gearing's pretty tall, guys, 3246. I'd probably recommend a 30 tooth. Unfortunately, I didn't have any in the garage at the time. Either 3050 or 3046 gearing is probably perfect with this setup. So far my gears and mesh look absolutely perfect, so another huge thanks to M2C Racing. In case you guys are curious, the weight penalty I think was about 150 grams to go with this motor and this mount versus the stock XRT setup. Oh! Well, that might be another bell crank, guys. Let's see what just happened. Oh yeah, it took a violent bounce. Yep, that's it, guys. Kind of a one and done. Didn't look like it was that big of a send, but unfortunately the bell crank on this truck is just kind of a weak spot. Well, kind of a bummer, guys. Unfortunately, as soon as I landed, and it looked like a clean landing on all four, I think basically this tucked in. You'll see where the bell crank broke. Pretty much the same exact spot the last one did. I made sure not to over tighten my servo saver. I think this is just kind of a weak spot if you're going to totally moon send this rig. Again, it is a truggy, kind of designed more for handling, etc. I think until I get an upgraded alloy one, I'm just going to take it a little bit easier with this rig. Definitely stoked with the suspension setup. The M2C pistons feel killer. Same with the motor setup. Again, I think my gearing's just a little bit tall. All right, guys, I had one more spare. Unfortunately, I basically ended up putting my spare in 2 different times. I had forgot to replace the one bottom piece that connects to the drag link. So anyway, I ended up doing this twice. Gotta love the Sacramento sunsets, guys. I replaced the front ring gear. You'll see how sloppy loose I set my servo saver, but so far this thing's hanging tough. So.